It's President Trump's shocking announcement, and as you're about to see, this changes everything. What he just revealed isn't just another headline from Washington. It's a potential turning point for America's retirement system and the economy at large. Let's break down why this moment matters and what it could mean for millions of Americans who rely on Social Security.
In the campaign, I made a sacred pledge to our seniors that I would always protect Social Security, and under this administration, we're keeping that promise and strengthening Social Security for generations to come.
In a surprise Oval Office session with reporters, Trump named 3 finalists for the next Federal Reserve chair: Hassett, Wash, and Waller. Waller's inclusion stunned even seasoned political insiders. For weeks, economic chatter had focused on the usual suspects, familiar names tied to Wall Street or past administrations. But few imagined Waller would suddenly be elevated to the top tier. That announcement alone would have been newsworthy. But the way Trump framed it, and the timing, turned it into something far bigger. Here's why. The Federal Reserve doesn't just set interest rates. Its leadership can influence everything from mortgage costs to job growth, and yes, even the sustainability of Social Security. With an FOMC meeting barely 2 weeks away, the prospect of a leadership shakeup throws markets and policymakers into a frenzy. Trump's critics are already accusing him of using the Fed appointment to pressure current chair Jerome Powell, whom he has repeatedly attacked for being too cautious with rate cuts. Trump has long argued that lower rates could supercharge economic growth, boost employment, and indirectly stabilize entitlement programs like Social Security by widening the tax base. Analysts say Trump's bombshell puts Social Security back in the spotlight at a critical moment. The program, created in 1935, faces long-term funding challenges as the population ages and the worker-to-beneficiary ratio shrinks. Economists warn that without adjustments, the trust fund reserves could be depleted in little more than a decade. Trump's move signals he may be preparing to link monetary policy and entitlement reform in a way no modern president has done. But this isn't just about appointments and meetings. The president's announcement has ripple effects. Markets reacted instantly. Bond yields shifted, futures swung, and financial pundits scrambled to parse what Waller's potential nomination could mean. Waller has previously advocated for more aggressive rate cuts, arguing that a hotter economy would deliver stronger payroll tax revenues to programs like Social Security. In theory, that could delay insolvency dates and give Congress breathing room to consider deeper reforms. Trump himself seemed aware of the magnitude of his words. He emphasized that while he had preferences, the interview process was still ahead, a classic Trump tactic that keeps everyone guessing. By floating these names early, he has introduced uncertainty that could influence Powell's decisions at the upcoming FOMC meeting. If Powell believes his job may be on the line, he could feel pressure to deliver the half-point rate cut markets have been clamoring for, rather than the quarter point many expect. Behind the scenes, strategists say Trump is playing a long game. He wants to be seen as the president who safeguarded retirees while revitalizing the economy. By reshaping the Fed and connecting that shift to Social Security's future, he positions himself as the champion of both Wall Street and Main Street. Supporters are already celebrating the announcement as proof that Trump is thinking several moves ahead. Detractors, on the other hand, accuse him of politicizing the Fed and gambling with the nation's financial stability for short-term political gain. There's another layer here: the looming 2025 budget negotiations. Social Security reform has been whispered about in Washington for months, with some lawmakers pushing for incremental adjustments to the payroll tax cap or the retirement age. Trump's bombshell could force those conversations into the open sooner than expected. By hinting at a broader economic strategy that links Fed leadership, interest rates, and entitlement sustainability, he has made it impossible for Congress to ignore the issue. Public reaction has been swift. Retirees' advocacy groups are demanding clarity, while younger workers wonder what changes could mean for their own futures. Cable networks are already looping clips of Trump's remarks, pairing them with graphics showing projected trust fund shortfalls. Social media is buzzing with speculation. Will Waller's nomination translate into a dovish Fed, lower borrowing costs, and a temporary boost for Social Security's finances? Or will it trigger market volatility that ultimately hurts retirees' savings? And then there's Powell himself. For years, he's defended a measured approach to interest rates, arguing that too aggressive cuts could overheat the economy and worsen inflation. Trump's announcement places him in a difficult spot. If he cuts rates dramatically, he risks looking like he caved under pressure. If he holds steady, he risks market backlash and even sharper criticism from the president. Either way, the Fed's next move could have profound consequences for Social Security's funding outlook, since economic growth and employment directly affect payroll tax revenue. The bombshell also raises questions about Trump's broader strategy for entitlements. In previous speeches, he's promised to protect Social Security from benefit cuts, but he has also hinted that creative solutions, like using economic growth or even targeted investment reforms, could shore up the program. Floating Waller's name now suggests he might be considering a plan that couples monetary stimulus with more structural reforms down the road. Financial experts caution against reading too much into a single announcement. The Fed chair appointment process is lengthy, and nominees face intense vetting. But Trump's timing, just days before critical economic data releases and Fed deliberations, suggests this was no casual remark. It was a deliberate play to reshape the conversation, rattle markets, and perhaps even influence Powell before the next rate decision. For Americans counting on Social Security, the stakes couldn't be higher. A program that provides benefits to over 66 million people each month doesn't turn on a dime. But leadership at the Fed can influence the economic environment in which Social Security operates. Job creation, wage growth, inflation, and government borrowing costs all feed into the program's health. By shaking up the Fed and framing it as a Social Security game changer, Trump has ensured that retirees and future beneficiaries will be watching closely. In the coming days, expect a cascade of analysis from economists, lawmakers, and advocacy groups. Will this move strengthen Social Security's outlook or simply create more uncertainty? Can a new Fed chief deliver the kind of economic growth Trump envisions? Or will this gamble backfire, leaving markets unsettled and policymakers scrambling? One thing is clear. The former president's announcement has transformed a routine appointment into a national debate about the future of America's most cherished safety net. Stay tuned. This story is just beginning, and its impact on Social Security could be felt for years to come.